And Willie, you told me that you voted for President Trump in 2024. Do you regret that decision? ¿Te arrepientes esa decisión?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you regret that decision?
That's because it's nothing that's true. It's not true. You know, and the first time he says something, and now, example, in the Latino people, we see everything is different. And the first time example, he say he got to catch the delincuentes. Criminals, yeah. And right now, he don't follow to criminals. He go to specific to Latino people.
American citizen. Hundreds of immigration agents descended on Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend, pulling people from shopping centers and moving in on this landscaping crew putting up Christmas lights. It's all part of the government's latest immigration enforcement action dubbed Operation Charlotte's Web. Willie Isatuno recorded this video outside a shopping center near his home. Soon after, Customs and Border Protection detained him.
I said, hey, American citizen, American citizen. I was on the ground, put back with the car, checked him.
He showed us where he says broken glass cut his arm and told us this was the second time that same day agents approached him.
Why? Just because I'm Latino. The white people, hey, ask for my papers. No, it's specific Latinos.
In a statement, Customs and Border Protection said Isatuno was acting increasingly erratic and accused him of intentionally trying to distract officers from doing their jobs.
He said he voted for Trump last year because he thought he was going to save money, lower food costs, lower gas. Now he says, I regret everything I did. He's sorry he voted for Trump.
Hey everybody. I'm so sick of hearing these people saying they regret their votes. Now that ICE is in North Charlotte, North Carolina, Latino man, he on the news talking about he regret his vote 100%, that he voted for Trump. He regret it now, since they're being targeted in Charlotte, North Carolina. He regret it. I don't even feel sorry for their asses. I don't. Not for the ones that pulled the lever for Trump. I'm so sick of them talking about it. Because it's too goddamn late. It's too fucking late. Nobody wants to hear your sorries, your pities. See, because now it affected you, your friends, your family members. Now you're sorry for your vote. Oh, come off with that shit.
This Latino man is 100% regretting his vote for the orange man. Imagine after being warned not to vote for him, after being told that he's going to do this to you, that his immigration policy stance is going to be so tough on you, they never listened. They just went ahead and voted for him. Then I also came to realize that right now, majority of the Latina women are trying to deconstruct themselves from the Republicans and the orange man, but their men are still stuck there. They still want to impress themselves to the orange man, and that's why they are facing all this. There has been ICE raid in North Carolina, and whatever is happening to majority of the Latinos and some of the immigrants is not impressing at all, to a point that some of them right now are coming out online. For instance, this man, to regret his vote 100%, the reason as to why he voted for the orange man. So guys, welcome back to Afrojudy's channel. Let's dive in straight to the episode and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Do you have any sympathy for this Latino man who is now regretting his vote for the orange man? Let me know in the comment section below. Kindly give the video a thumbs up and let's unpack this episode together.
You know what's sad? When Latinos cannot admit that they have fallen trap to colonialism, to white supremacy, to anti-blackness, to colorism, to internalized racism. And I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, all those woke words. But if you really dig deep into what each of those things are, you will see many examples of those things and how they manifest within the Latino community. And yes, many of those people are people that voted for that man. But I say that it's sad because when I've created content about this, mind you, the content is centering the fact that there are many examples of all those things that I just mentioned within the Latino community when Latinos themselves say things like, oh, you should marry someone that's lighter skinned or a white person to mejorar la raza, to better the race. When Latinos make anti-Black comments, when Latinos are talking to their own family members differently because they are of a darker complexion. When Latinos cannot seem to understand that when they are trying to be in proximity to whiteness and be accepted by white people, that they have fallen trapped to white supremacy. And it's sad because I get comments from Latinos that are like, this has nothing to do with color. And there are Latinos that are anti-immigrant because they say they did it the right way or that their families did it the right way, when in reality, the country itself was founded on the stealing, the taking of land from indigenous people. Mind you, us Latinos come from indigenous people. The language, even the Spanish language, is a language that was brought to us by colonizers from Spain. And I say all these things because I'm like, come on, y'all. I was someone that also wasn't aware of all this stuff. But when I awoke to it, I was like, oh my gosh. What? And so when I say these things and I make content about it, and then I still get comments from Latinos that are like, oh, this has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with color. Or I've been able to do great in this country. And it's like, that's awesome. And the reality is that so many people, simply because they are Latino or because they appear to be of a darker complexion, automatically have it worse in certain environments because of that. That's just the reality. And so it's great that you have been able to have the access and the resources that you've had. That's amazing. And it doesn't make that the reality for everyone else. Okay? But anyways, that's what I have to say. So if you want more of this type of content, if you want to have more of this type of conversation, then follow for more. I'm Michael, by the way.
I need all of my Black and brown people to be incredibly cautious and safe in Charlotte right now. The presence of ICE and CBP has ramped up, and they are doing what they came here to do. And I could sit here and tell you that it's incredibly disheartening to see all this, but that's putting it way too lightly and sugarcoating it. The shit is horrible. And I don't want to be naive to think that they are just targeting our Hispanic and Latinx brothers and sisters, because they're not. If you have any sort of melanin, you need to be cautious. You need to do everything you can to stay safe, and at the same time protecting your neighbors and doing your due diligence. If you see something, say something. If you see somebody getting stopped and you feel like you are in a position to where your presence there can help save them, do that. But at the same time, you have to think about your safety, your family. It is a shitty dichotomy and a shitty position to be in. And this is where we are in our country right now. And we should have expected this. We knew that this was coming here. So I'm not even going to sit here and try to pinpoint the different areas in the city that they've been, because they've been everywhere from Pineville to Cornelius. They're here. Concord Mills, University City, West Charlotte, East Charlotte, South Boulevard. You need to be cautious. I've seen people talking about turning your biometric data off, turn your face ID off, turn your fingerprint off, take the airplane mode out of your control panel. And it is awful to have to do these things, to feel compelled to say these things. And at the same time, this is how we, for lack of better words, resist. So if you are protesting, especially if you are protesting, turn your biometric data off. Do not use your face ID. Do not use your fingerprint. Use a passcode only. Cover your face if you can. Have a friend. Do not, if at all possible, try not to do shit alone. Yeah. So, like, we could sit here and be jokey about the president right now and all this other stuff. And at the same time, there's some very real shit happening that's affecting people in real time. Not only just here in Charlotte, but in Chicago, in Portland, in LA, New York, all. Be safe.
Hi, I'm at FBI headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. It turns out that CBP and ICE have arrested a U.S. citizen who was letting people know that there are violent people dressed up in CBP and ICE uniforms in our community. And they have brought him into the FBI headquarters. He's been in there for about 2 hours. His lawyer has demanded to see him and give him counsel, and they have refused him entry. So there are people that are starting to gather outside, and we are waiting for an update, and I think that people are going to start chanting and demanding that we hear from them, because they are the ones that are inflicting chaos and violence in our community, not our immigrants. They're all hiding in their homes right now because they're afraid of what they've done to people, because they're beating people. They don't care how they treat other individuals. They are breaking through windows of cars, going to homes, terrorizing our school children, and it needs to stop. So I will update you as soon as we have an update on this gentleman.
Oh, since ICE descended into Charlotte, North Carolina, school attendance has dropped 15%. 15%. That means 21,000 kids stayed home from school because Operation Charlotte's Web.
She's actually right. Local news outlets in Charlotte, North Carolina are reporting that their main school district in the area, that on Monday of this week, 21,000 students did not attend, which would be 15% of all of the kids enrolled in this school district, which also happens to be the 16th largest school district in the country. Not just this, but local news outlets are also reporting that of the 900,000 residents of Charlotte, North Carolina, that 150,000 of these residents are in fear of this Operation Charlotte's Web. So again, my question would be, does that mean that 1 in every 9 people in Charlotte, North Carolina is here in our country undocumented? Is that what that's implying? Now, if you take that number in the public school system, if you're looking at this on a national scale, if you look at all of our kids enrolled in our K through 12 public school system in the USA, 12% of these students, they will say, are English learners, which means that English is not their first language. So that would be 12% of all of the students enrolled in our public school system on a national level, K through 12.
I just woke up. I probably look awful, but these are the kinds of stories that I keep seeing on my For You page and in the news that just keep me up at night. What you saw was an ICE agent breaking into somebody's car because she was, quote, driving erratically, and they followed her back to her home to apprehend her. We've already seen these Gestapo-like tactics being utilized in other places around the country, but right here in my state of North Carolina, in Charlotte, and now in Raleigh, they're doing these same things to random people and even citizens. I'm sure some of y'all saw the video of the guy the other day who had his window broken into and then dragged across the concrete, even though he is a U.S. citizen, just because he looked the part of being somebody that ICE or CBP might arrest. At the end of the day, this is a violation of your Fourth Amendment rights. This is taking away your right from unreasonable and unlawful search and seizure. And before anybody comes at me saying, oh, that only applies to citizens, no, it applies to everybody who lives in America. Whether you're an immigrant, whether you hold a green card, whether you hold a work visa, whether you're here on asylum, or if you are actively seeking citizenship, or if you are a citizen, especially if you're a citizen, you have rights. And ICE, CBP, and by proxy, the Trump administration are ignoring those rights. So what can we actually do to help? A lot of creators on this app, and some of them friends of mine, have made videos about how we can protect each other and protect our friends and neighbors from unlawful search and seizure and potentially arrest and deportation. Go to ojonc.org, that's ojonc.org, and you can track and report ICE and CBP sightings anywhere in North Carolina. You should also go to siembraNC.org, that's SIEMBRANC.org, and that is an organization that has been working since 2017 to protect immigrants from the actions of the Trump administration, both the first and second term. You can also reach out to anybody at the Young Democrats of North Carolina, ydnc.org. Full disclosure, I am the president of the organization, but we will do what we can to help our friends and neighbors. We have members all across this state that are willing to help you, because this is a time for action, and we can't sit by willingly while the President of the United States and his personal private army just continues to terrify and rip apart families all across the nation and across this state. And at the end of the day, when you see those videos of ICE agents just like sitting around in their cars and waiting for something to happen, and you see when people come up to them, they start asking questions and asking, "What are you doing here? Why are you even here? Why are you covering your faces?" Remember, these guys are cowards. They're cowards. And you should remember that, because if they weren't cowards, they wouldn't need to use excessive force against people that are here because they tried to immigrate to this country. Get your phones out, record everything you see, and don't back down.
Well, first of all, this Latino man, he effed around, and now is a time for him to find out in a hard way, because they were warned. People tried to warn them, but they never listened. And these are the kind of people who decided to let their own community down, because you have seen whatever have been happening to the Latinos since the orange man got into the office. Majority of them are being hunted down like animals by the eyes. And some of them always come online and start saying that, you know, after us, the Latinos, it is you, the black people, who are going to be deported. And they are always saying that it is the black Americans who are going to be deported. Like, to get deported where? And it is the same black Americans who are warning you guys not to vote for the orange man, but you still went ahead and voted for him. And now, being that they are experiencing this pain, some of them are begging for help, some of them are begging for unity. And you know very well how the anti-blackness is so rampant in the Latino community. They even dislike the Afro-Latinos. I've watched several clips of the Afro-Latinos complaining about this anti-blackness in the Latin community. And again, they are getting deported to unknown countries. Some of them are getting deported back to their countries. And right now, ICE doesn't care whether you have the document or not. ICE doesn't care whether you are a US citizen or not, because I've watched several videos of them forcefully arresting the immigrants, even breaking their car windows to get inside and arrest them. But whatever has been happening in some of the states, like, people always stand on business and help these immigrants. But some of them will just be there watching how the immigrants are getting detained and arrested by the ICE, which is not good. I know majority of the Latinos, they really costed their community so much, and that is why they are getting arrested. You know, perhaps they knew that when they align to whiteness, they are going to be favored by the orange man. And now the orange man doesn't even care whether you voted for him or not. Remember, during the campaign, he just told people that he wanted their votes. He loved the uneducated one, and still they never listened. Imagine, after someone calling you uneducated, and still you go ahead and support them because you want to impress them, you want to align to their whiteness, you want to look like them. Or probably some people lied to the Latinos that if they have that skin tone, maybe they are going to be accepted into that community. And I've also watched several videos of the Latinos turning against each other, especially those who voted for this man. The reason as why they voted for him, and they costed their community a lot, and they are now going no contact with them. Imagine going no contact with your family just because you decided to betray them, and your family will disown you forever. Your friends will disown you forever because you made a bad choice, and you costed the whole of the United States, not only the Latinos. Because whatever is happening right now, instead of the orange man using that money you remember during that time when hurricane hit North Carolina, why didn't the orange man use that money maybe to construct houses or shelters for the people who were hit by the hurricane, or maybe to provide support aid to those people? Instead he is using that money to fund the ICE to start raiding the immigrants. And again, he's using that money to fund the National Guards to go and cause chaos in the street, which is not even making sense. Right now, it is a shame watching all these things, because all the respect that this man had before, right now, he has no respect globally, because people are watching whatever he's doing. People are literally seeing everything that the orange man is doing to the Americans. And that's why Americans decided to warn people from other countries not to travel to the United States, because if you travel there, maybe you are going to be detained at the airport. And who is ready to get detained at the airport just because of visiting the United States? And that's why the tourism is plummeting in the United States, just because of the orange man. People are losing their jobs. People are losing a lot. Their businesses are shutting down because the immigrants who used to work on in those companies, or maybe in the plantation farms, they're not there to do that work. They're scared of getting out of their houses to go and work there. And again, some of the Latinos who own the businesses in the United States, they are crying out because their businesses are shutting down. There is no one who wants to go there and support their businesses. And those who are supporting them, especially some of the Latinos, they have already been deported back to their country. So what else can they do? The next thing they can do is to shut down their business, or maybe they are not getting any profit and you must have to pay the taxes. If you don't pay the tax, the arrangement will be on your neck. And that is how life has been in the United States lately. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Which message do you have to this Latino man who is regretting his vote 100%, right? And people tried to warn him. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. I honestly appreciate your massive love and support. Until next time, stay safe.